News, rumors and opinions Sunday, August 31, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. KTFA. Frank 26. HCL and citizens demand a new rate, F26. President of the Republic. There is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law. August 29, 2025. President Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid stressed that there is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law and detailed laws on the distribution of revenues, to solve the existing problems. The president said in a televised interview, "The Arab Kurdish Cultural Center is an important step towards strengthening common rapprochement through studying common history and destiny." He explained, "The relationship between the federal government and the Kurdistan regional government is good in all areas. And the existing differences are originally between the provinces and the federal government, and what is common to them is greater than the differences." He stressed, "There is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law and detailed laws on the distribution of revenues to solve the existing problems, and unfortunately, Parliament has not succeeded in passing the important oil and gas law." He pointed out, "It is the government's duty to provide salaries for all employees, and we have a major problem in government expenditures from salaries, as they reach more than 80% of the state's revenues, while in other developed countries they do not reach more than 6%, and we must solve this problem." He added, "We must ensure free and fair elections, and prevent the exploitation of power and its resources for electoral purposes." We, in the four presidencies, agreed on a document to be electoral regulations to be adopted by the Electoral Commission and other bodies concerned with organizing them. He stressed that there is no truth to the postponement of elections or the formation of an emergency government. And we must ensure our people's confidence in holding fair elections on time. We in Iraq are proud that all electoral processes took place on time without delay. The president stressed that the world is facing a major water crisis as a result of climate change, including Iraq. We must obtain a fair share from neighboring countries, stop our waste, and use modern irrigation and agricultural methods. He stressed, "The continued aggression on Gaza has a negative impact on the entire region, and our position in Iraq is clear and not new. In our support for the Palestinian people in achieving their full legitimate rights to self-determination. The aggression must now stop, humanitarian aid must be delivered, and famine must be stopped." Frank 26. The goal of the monetary reform, F26. The digital economy in Iraq, 10 million bank cards and 15 trillion dinars in payments. August 30, 2025. The Eco-Iraq Observatory, which specializes in economic affairs, announced on Saturday that the number of active bank cards in the country has exceeded 10 million. Indicating the rapid expansion towards a digital economy. The observatory quoted the Baghdad Council for Digital Transformation and Electronic Payments, in a statement received by Shafaq News Agency, as saying, "The qualitative transformation in the electronic payment sector is due to the policies of the Central Bank of Iraq and the government's support for this process." According to the council, the volume of digital payments exceeded 15 trillion Iraqi dinars, including 1.7 trillion dinars for customs, while the remaining transactions were distributed across various other sectors. The council emphasized that electronic payment companies are non-banking financial institutions whose mission is limited to executing transfers without storing funds or opening accounts, noting that these companies have directly contributed to building the infrastructure for this transformation. He pointed out that the ongoing reforms in the banking system aim to consolidate governance and strengthen the foundations of the country's digital economy. Nader from the Mideast question. "IYO, how much will be the rate? I think it will not be more than $3.50. Walking stick, they're shoving the monetary reform down the throat of Iraq right now. The one that's doing the shoving and the pushing is Donald Trump and his teams. And now Sadani, in a week, is going to the USA. Jeff, everything is suggesting completion to you at the exact same time. Troops out, ready to join the world trade, transitioning by getting the troops out, suggesting sovereignty, sanctions removed, revaluing the currency." Frank 26. Emo banks are running around like Keystone cops, bouncing off of each other with excitement. But I hope it's disciplined chaos so they can focus on us. It makes sense that they're going to give us an appointment. You can't have all these people pouring into all these banks. They're going to definitely have appointments. $500 to $700 silver? The 50-year pattern you can't ignore, Florian Grums. Miles Franklin Metals. August 30, 2025. Andy Schechtman, founder and CEO of Miles Franklin Precious Metals, speaks with Florian Grums, managing director of Midas Touch Consulting, about why gold may be on the verge of its next breakout. Grums breaks down the shift from paper to physical gold, surging COMEX deliveries, silver's explosive upside potential, and why Bitcoin's role in the coming monetary reset is misunderstood by both crypto and gold investors alike. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com.